Test. I think it works, right? Anyway, hope it works. So I'm gonna try to soon monetize channel where I'm on Vog G V A U G H N stream GHN, yeah, VAUGHN stream. Boom. I'm gonna add this here in the Google toolbar. And I'm playing Diablo probably for 7 days. So that's what I wrote. I'm still inside of my. I've got enough money to last up the 15th of September, but on the 15th of September, of the monetization of playing Diablo, I'm gonna try to play Diablo, make music, and I don't think I'm gonna program. I'm gonna try to monetize my channel on Vogan, or Vong, or Vog, or the way that they pronounce it. I'm gonna try to check, and I'm gonna review after that how I move forward in life. Do I go in the army? Do I apply in the army? Do I try instead to find a job in the near here? At Label, Group Label, or apply the technician to go install the internet services at home, like routers for like Vidrotron, third party Vidrotron, because I had an opportunity that I had put on hold, so I could communicate back with them. And I've got a third one that I don't remember the name of that I could. So I got three opportunities that could be waiting for me to work for a job, and even maybe a fourth one with the Dolorama store that had wanted me maybe to pass an interview to be a assistant director, assistant, so that's what I would review, and I'm gonna write those four downs because those are the four that were interested. But up till now, what I'm going to do is for 7 days up until the 15th of September, I'm going to try and play Diablo 4. I was having fun, and not just that. I understand now. The story of Diablo is too important, and it was taken out of the hands of David Brevik. Too important. It was such a. Pompeii is where the corpses of Rome are. They've been trying to delete the corpses of everybody that they've killed back in Rome. The roads of Rome that they've built, the long, long roads, Greece to Rome to etc. All the corpses, the carnage of the butchery that was happening in Rome, the corpses that they were trying to hide. I believe that's where they are in Pompeii, with all of the cinders of the corpses. Every time that they are in Rome, in Pompeii, all the cinders of the volcano that are falling down, every time the Pompeii is bursting up in flames, the cinders that is falling down and is the DNA of our ancestors, of the corpses of Rome, the corpses that they've killed, the amputated leg, the amputated head, the amputated body, the entrails, the poop of the babies that they were killing in front of Vercingetorix. You didn't say there was no babies in the picture. No, 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 hey. Okay, you're Italians. You have Picasso all the time near you. Okay, fixing things for you. Okay, bitches, shut the fuck up. Okay, your Caesar was the pig Harkonnen, pig that we see there in the movie. He's a pig, total pig. Best actor that depicts him, and those guys in that movie, and Villeneuve, perfect. I always thought that Harkonnens. I was linking literally before I moved here in Kakuna. The Harkonnens to me, they were the Germans, Nazi fascists. That's who they were. Now, no. After I see everything the Romans have done in history, the Harkonnens, they're the Romans. And Pompeii is the cemetery. Pompeii is the cemetery. I thought it was Cleopatra. I was like, thinking if they came through the gate, if there was ever a gate, Cleopatra put them on Shenko skeleton, that looks like a dead piece of land. And it was that the plan, because the Egyptians knew, based on the geological with time, approximately when the volcano pops. Approximately pops based on the other volcanoes on the planet. Approximately how or when that one might pop. And they had manuscripts, right? Right. So when did they invade Egypt? right? Around that same time that Pompey popped, right, or something. So you didn't say whatever. Okay, let me finish my explanation. I'm not done. Don't laugh in my face. Don't laugh in my face. I'm not done. You had uh, the whole planification maybe of the fact that 20 years that Cleopatra would be in the whole love thing and the blah 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 with love of Cleopatra and conquering her and whatever. And your whole kingdom was thinking already of how to hide the corpses of the whole carnage of your whole butchery everywhere. You had planified Pompeii to be the closest to the volcano, and in the moment that it would pop, that it would be Romans that would be killed, so that everybody would see Pompeii, the burnt Roman city. But the ashes at Pompeii are our DNA. Your bodies are dead Romans that you use as statues for people, for tourist attractions. There are plenty of cinders of dead bodies of babies, of Vercingetorix arms, Vercingetorix eye, right on the Roman that has cinder on him that people pay to go and see the cinder. So you've got the Roman, the killer. You've got maybe the killer or the culprit of, and he was sent to Pompeii. Maybe even I don't know. Just a good. He was a good Roman, a good woman sent to live in Pompeii because they didn't like these families in Pompeii. They didn't like the Roman in Pompeii. They sent them to be killed at the bottom of Pompeii when it was going to burst. And poof, what happened? The corpses that they had all put of the babies that with the Gallic conquerors, the Gallic wars of Italy, all the babies, all the baby head, baby eye, baby entrails of etc., all thrown the volcano by the long roads of Rome with chariots, long rows and chariots. Oh, it takes days, it takes weeks. Well, people take a stop, just like we do. Take a stop. We piss, we shit, we eat, we move forward. You're slaves of society. You move forward, and all the corpse. And at some point, you know what they did? Probably is slaves and people, righteous Italians under the fucking goddamn ring of the butchers, started throwing limbs along the road because they knew the limbs were going to be. They thought the limbs were going to be deleted in the Pompeii crater, in the Pompeii volcano. They think, it's going to be deleted. No, I scared. Plenty of limbs thrown around old roads of Rome. Plenty of limbs in the earth. Plenty of limbs of heads of everything, carcasses of bodies, maybe really deep. Who knows, motherfucker? All always being thrown in the volcano. And every time that the volcano pops, the cinders go in the fields of Rome, in the fields of Pompeii, and even Pompeii, Italians don't even know that they're eating their own, the corpses of all of our DNA, of Vercingetorix, of Germans, of Russians, of Arabs, of Asians, of Caucasians, of black people, our ancestor babies. And who eats those? Probably Italians. Pompeii's food, Pompeii's farm, the the apples, the apple of Caucase and the apple of Palaz, of my sacred blood and the sacred blood of our ancestors, are eaten by who? Italians, Rome. Rome is eating what Pompey offers for them. Cinders of our ancestors are eaten today. Today, an Italian is eating what? He's eating my ancestors. And he's proud of it because the Italian inside knows that the corpses were hidden there. He's eating my flesh of my ancestor. He's eating the apples, not just the apples. Sorry, not just the apples. Of course, everything, vegetables, fruits, everything. You guys are eating my flesh. Your animals are eating my flesh. Your everything is eating my flesh, and nobody knows. Just like in Cloud Atlas. In Cloud Atlas, we see the movie Cloud Atlas with Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, and many other actors, like the British actor that you don't know, there was a problem with his coat or something, and he had to ask him about his suit. It was so important. Something of his suit and his retarded thing. I don't remember his name. Very good actor. It's like all British actor gentlemen. And he was gentleman to answer in a way that you guys just don't understand how stupid your questions are sometimes, and the stupid journalists, whatever, divas working for Gucci, eh? Whatever. So, or not, because maybe Gucci is a good family, but I don't know. Who knows? Because it seems that stories around you pop in the news now, eh? just like the Napoleons too. We saw the Gucci before the Napoleon thing, right? And what about Caesar now? Well, if we do Caesar, it's got to be a lot of babies that you kill. You've never seen that ever before, except on Best Gore. I saw it once. It was not a Roman thing. No, no, no. It was a cartel. The cartel of Mexico. Mexico. Oh, maybe the cop was a crooked cop. You know what happened? Maybe he was an Italian cop. It was evil. I've never seen it. It flagellated my soul, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was blaming the cartel guy, which the machete with a knife. It was evil. There was the cop. I'd never seen that. It was evil. I don't like it. It's scourging. It's slashing my soul. I could not watch more of this. The Italian watches more of this. He's eating it every day. He doesn't need to talk about it. He's eating it. His DNA every day is eating me. He's eating my flesh. So by DNA is his body just loving eating me. So his words become like a conqueror of everything of what I am. Literally, I don't know. How does it work? So I was thinking the sands of Arrakis, the drug and the spices and the drugs, and I'm thinking, if you're looking at the Dune universe, beautiful movies of Villeneuve, and I don't want to. I'm not saying to insult things or whatever, about the kingdoms of the desert, of course. But if you compare with the Dune's lore with today's deserts of the caliphates, let's say, or Egypt, and you look at the sand, and you think of the sand, the drug, and then the spices. And then you say, the spices, okay, spices, vegetables, spices, trees, vegetation, etc. But then you see the sand, and you see the sand, and you see a mineral. You see the sand that, let's say you heat up, and you see a mirror or a bulb, a light. It's your, well, not the light, but the bulb of maybe a possible lantern, right? A lantern, right? But if you see a mirror out of, because they build mirror, and you see Prince of Persia, you go in the mirror, you schlag a mirror, and a copy of you. You see the mirror, you see an ancestor. You see, is it an ancestor? Yourself, the mirror is the mineral, the sand, just an ancestor of who we are. But but many, 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 many generations of just Rome keeping on lying and piling trash over trash over trash over trash over trash, being conquerors for so many much more generations of what we know. Although that would be a major like a major like a major thing on the on the lore, of the history of planet Earth. But when you look at it, you're like, well, if they've been doing it with Pompeii, well, what made the sands? What was there before the sands? Was it just rock, or are the cinders just multiple particles of sand finally forming after dust, forming into sand? And the sand, the mirror, and a copy of yourself, your DNA, and you're like, could it be that the sand are particles of bones, souls of our ancestors? The ashes, the cinders falling down, dust, wind, a lot of wind, and wind suddenly with the mother nature finding a place for the souls where to go. The sands of Arrakis. And you look at it and you see, hmm, chakra, chakra, souls, drug. You think about it. What about smelling desert? Can you smell anything in the desert? Is there dust to smell? What if you're exactly that? You're there and you smell it, and for a long period you become saoulé. T'es saoulé par you're drugged by something. Souls of the past. There's no spices, there's no drugs. That what is there are souls of our ancestors, and you're smelling them, and they go in your lungs, and they are ingested. They are I think, or the like, what is the lung doing with the particle that goes in the lung? Is the lung kind of digested like a digesting system of the particle of the thing, like a digestive system of the food? How does it work? And now I'm looking at Diablo, and I'm like, man, necromancer, and I'm like David Brivik, and I'm like, Jesus. Now I understand that story had to be saved. Fuck, it had to be saved. Then, so I'm like, I'm playing Diablo for a week. I would listen to, and I've started like reading I've started reading a little bit, hearing and reading the verse of the Quran. Every line seems to point out that you evil. What were, and I'm thinking of one thing. I'm thinking of dogs, dogs, and through generations and generations, you're trying sometimes to modify the race and have it change, look more like a wolf, look more like a pig, look more like a fucking werewolf, or whatever, whatever you want to say, like a squirrel, like a mouse, like a chihuahua, like Yorkshire, etc. And let me just smoke a cigarette. I don't want to cough for this one. And you think about it, and let's say that you see, look at the sands of Arrakis and how long they might have been there. Maybe the souls of the cinders of what Rome has been doing for so long, and maybe just back then when they started looking like us after so many time of fornicating with us, fornicating, 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 and finally they start looking at Berger. Hey, Berger looks like a like a Steve Chassé. Hey, look pas mal like a Steve. This one, okay, let's keep this lineage. But that nobody has ever seen a real Roman to the core, and that they had no choice after being decimated to come back into society and wear masks, and that those of them that do have masks, they don't look like us. They try to stay closer to the original of what they really are, and not mess up with and mix their blood with ours and look like humans. It's like, oof, what do they look like? I'm right now. I'm seeing one thing to keep me calm because I'm stressed. To keep the seat, Michael Tyson was with the Sadhguru. Okay, Mike Tyson was with the Sadhguru, and he had. Why am I afraid? Why am I afraid all the time? He says because you're not taking the seat of the experience of fear. Yes, well, I'm trying right now, but not with the voice. Where I'm seated in a chair, to go that way. My brain is trying to go through it is seated in the experience. It's seated. But my voice was not because I'm stressed. So I'm not there yet. I'm not there like an Arabic person, yet. Because they've been chanting it for 2,000 years. What's happened ever since Muhammad? You read the Quran, now you can only link it to what the carnage and the gore and the butchery. That's what in Muhammad going back to your Arabic world, because he realized it was all lies what they've been telling. It's a butchery what's happening there. Butchery, 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 butchery everywhere. Butchery, butchery. Okay, and they started to protect their whole kingdoms, the caliphates. It was mainstreamed, a mainstream golden letter with the, yeah, Muhammad speaking to uh to uh to the angel Gabriel. Okay, and then you look at it a different way. But was there sand back then? Was there sand? Yes or no? Yes. Well, what if there is sand? What if there's so many cinders also of Pompeii mixed with the sand? The sand is sand, but there's so many cinders that you don't decipher anything. You just see sand. You're there, you see sand. But you take the sand and you start looking at it, and you see, yeah, I understand there's sand, but you see minerals, different colors, and etc. and etc. and etc. You start wondering, what if Rome became lazy? What if those aliens became lazy? At some point, they left the Arab guys alone. They left them alone after such much time. And a race of Arabic people, Arabic, just never understanding what happened of them dying, of everything dying, and at some point, desert, and even everybody we becoming human, and maybe we were looking not like that before. As per the evolution of human, we were looking like apes. So since when has this been happening? How many of us are inside of that volcano? Ever since when? Are they the Cro-Magnons or the Neanderthals? When you look at it that way, are they the Cro-Magnons or the Neanderthals? And are they just trying to look like us, fornicating with us, and killing and doing gore, and they starting to look perfect? Okay, now this one not really. Okay, Rome road to the Pompeii. Let's wait for the next time that the Pompeii pops, cinders fall down, kills in the Pompeii again. Oh, oops. But now they can't do that anymore, right? We have the tools to calculate, to planify, and etc. Right? Oh, and what do we do? We after that, well, it's our businesses. We want to go prosper. It's our family here, our Romans. Let's do touristic attractions around our Romans. So what do? We go there and we see the poor Roman died at Pompeii. Poor Roman. He, he's he's got like a filled layer of gore of baby corpses, dust on the Italian that you see dead, and you see the Italian. You have love for the Italian and not the fucking big chunk of death on him, of gore and butchery, of real DNA is right there. And are they trying to delete it in Pompeii? I'd say Pompeii has to be decapitated, amputated from Italy. It does not belong to Italy. It's our ancestry right there. It does not belong to you. Every country, the BRICS, the Commonwealth has to ally on this one. And further, this it has to be taken out from you. If there's good Italians, though, they have to remain on the soil and keep and have confidence that they are righteous and have nothing to do with any of this. You have to keep the confidence. You cannot castrate somebody that does not need to be castrated, like I was for 40 years. You cannot castrate somebody that has done nothing wrong. Because, because you cannot. Because otherwise, yeah, I'm here. I'm at my situation. You make somebody like me that is stuck, doesn't know what to do in every situation. Is just saying things. He's saying how he lived, how he could depict scenarios, but he has nothing else but his word, his honor. That's all. I'm a wimp. I'm a dweeb. You want an Italian to look like that for 40 years? For next generations? They all really look like tough guys, and some of them, they just went in the right path. They don't align with this. But the problem, though, is that a lot of them know. A lot of them know that they've been eating the flesh, the apple of Pallas, and the apple of Caucas, that is bread, that is that is bred to live. How do you say that? The fruit is coming to life. The fruit is like coming to life out of cinders on the soil of the ancestors, and you are the ones eating it. Pompeii goes to who to be eaten? It goes to Italy. You're eating my ancestors. So the vegetables, the fruits, the grapples, all the things for wine, all the things that you're eating, your pasta, you're making it from farms that the cinders of my ancestors are on the soil of my ancestors, and every day you're eating that, and you're killing us still in society. And I'm looking at that. Isn't that a sacrilege? When you look at it that way, it's like a sacrilege to the outmost of the Endario, Duriel, Mephisto, Diablo, and Bill. And every soldier's underneath. You guys are the monsters underneath. I want to play Diablo and go in the sun and be a necromancer. That's what it is. You fuck off. That's why I want to play Diablo until the 15th of September. That's my fucking future for the moment, is to fucking learn history through Diablo the way that Diablo says it. In fact, I'm going to check if I can go and put it in Arabic and be like a guy that comes out of nowhere and arrives in an Arabic place and just sees what the fuck happened. That sees Diablo, that sees Ithne, etc., and Lilith being a bitch of the social engineering cunt of like a daughter of Julius Caesar, maybe. Yeah, literally, the angels and the bad guys playing both. You guys are both the angels and the evil. You're playing both of them. You're playing the good guy, which is Mark Antony with Cleopatra. We're gonna conquer everything. So you're in Aries. So you're sending the armies of angels that you're telling trash. You're telling trash the armies of angels because they all get trashed by the demons after that. And Lilith is always trash. You're sending good guys against bad guys, and it's always trash. If you can suicide one of your guys, you don't care. You don't care as long as it conquers. You don't care. I'm going back to Diablo for a minimum of a week. Diablo 4 this time around, okay? Because I think that this time around they put scientists as like scientists, like yeah, sound scientists. They're called sound engineers, whatever you want to call them. The entirety of the everything to make Diablo 4 beautiful is there. I want to play it. That's it. I'm sold to Diablo 4 for this one, and I hope that David Brevik lives a beautiful, like, comfortable life more than I do. And that he's protected by the goddamn everything ancient of this planet for the everything of bringing to life this freaking game of the awesomeness. And Pompey has to be decapitated and pitied and stolen, taken from a-holes. Roman has to take it from themselves and start inviting scientists from everywhere and not play Pizzo Pizzo anymore. And leave it to science, etc. Leave it to scientists of everybody, of the multicolor, of the everything, including you guys, the Italians that have been what? They have a good heart, a heart like mine, a heart like mine that goes on best gore and sees that it's disgusting what's happening. It's impossible that is that's disgusting. You know what I mean? It's impossible that what the gore, the real gore of, let's say the cartel goes and cuts open. He cuts open the father in front of the son, the police officer, the cartel guy opens. I did not say it. He opens up with his knife. We see it on camera. He opens up the bowels, cuts, decapitates, amputates the head of the father in front of the kid. And after that, slowly, he cuts where the lung is, slash, 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 and he puts his hand inside, and he cuts it like a fish, and he's in this. It's not even funny. It's just disgusting. And the child he puts his hand right there on the floor. He takes the heart, rips it out. Takes the heart, rips it out, and after that, takes this knife, puts the heart on the forehead of the kid, plants the knife on the heart of the kid of the police officer. I was cursed. I was cursed. I was instantly like, what is this evil? This is impossible. Do you understand what I mean? And that's why, in the end, that I've been trashing people, and I'm reverting everything that I've been saying. That's what I've been doing since 2014 against the Libre disease, against everybody. It's statistics that tell who you are. Showing an anus to people in a pool might just well be freaking you're an animal in the forest, motherfucker. You just, why did you accept? I accepted. Jenny came to my home, knocked on the door. Jenny Librizi, come to my home. Let's say it's Brutus. It might even be Brutus, motherfucker. It might be freaking Caesar blood that's completely converted to be good. Don't you want to keep that? I would want to. Why? Because we're not 2,000 years ago. He has nothing to do with the gore. He sees it, he's literally like, Jesus Christ, man, this is actually a motherfucking evil motherfucker. But he's going on best gore and he's flagellated. He's converted. He's subdued. His 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 soul was subdued in it was not just subdued with social engineering of the everything of the core to being good. It's it's probably a generational. Maybe it happened a long time ago. Who knows? You know what I mean? Because Michael Librizzi, he looks great, confident male, but there are how do you say things that were hurtful to my family and to me. I've always been the guy who forgives. You know me, guys. I've been forgiving all my life. And this is the same thing with the Trudeau. It's the same thing with the Melanie show. And the same thing with the Freeland that have been like renting on. You know what I mean? And every Italians that have been renting on. I don't like any of this. It's based on statistics. If you've been good all of your life, regardless where you are, even in Ndrangheta, And that's why I say if you're the other countries, you should not let Italy take care of their own drangheta. Especially unless you knew exactly who you were sending and you never sent the good drangheta to Italy. Unless Italy is now perfectly in control, that there's only righteous people there and they'd be renting in Italy for no reason and the church for no reasons. Because I'm angry at the church for my grandmother. When she was alive, she was blocked from from helping people. For real, she was helping people for real. Why did you stop her? Why did you have to ban these enfants Marie? It was a multicolor thing. I believe it was a multicolor thing inside of there. Whether I gotta trust or not, with some people, a multicolor thing. My mother never had any of my family never ever planned of killing nobody in society. I believe there's plenty of people like this. You know what I mean? It's just I don't want. I'm not the one who takes decisions on anything, you know. But I'm gonna insult when I rage. But in the end, have I been Naruto going? You know what I mean? Rah, exploding the fucking motherfucking apocalypse of the everything? No, no. Why? Because I have no data, no statistics. I only go in rage and in chance of with my verbal thing and in my writing. I cannot do more than this because statistics are not on my side. They're not on my side. But if they're deleted by the Trudeau, if they're deleted by the Julie and the Freeland, you say, well, yeah, exactly. Well, wait, wait. I am a conservator, but I'm not trashing others. There are people that are generational liars, and there are people that are generational protector liars. People that are generational protector liars on their family writings, on their family books, on their family history, on their family of everything, on their books of history. That they had no choice to lie, no choice to do it this way, no choice to do it that way, and that because of this, of that, in their family, they have books that tell them because of this, of that. Our family has always noticed that these families are always doing this and that, or these governments are always doing this and that, and generational things are telling them that they have to do it this way this time around. You know what I mean? And me, I'm a conservator. I'm not quitting because I like being conservative of what works, what is functioning, and what is working well. What I'm saying, on the other hand, look, statistics are statistics, though. This is just meant to delete history and make me appear as a fucking dickhead, a moron, a pedophile, rapist, a killer, etc. And they get my arms broken and my anus ripped in prison. Well, you're just trying to delete me and throw me in the volcano of Pompeii. That's not right. You know what I mean? It's just not right. So I just want to play here. Give me a setup here. Is it installed? Oh, oh, sorry. English UK here. I like English UK. I like the accent of the UK. I like to hear it. Okay, why? Because it's different. I've just been listening practically to American things. It's alien to me. The British accent. It was only 007. What else do I know of British? I'm fully American here. It's only American stuff that I know. UK is American to me, although I've worked at the corpse. It's completely alien to me. I just like the righteous in the core of the righteous of the Commonwealth, etc., of France, etc. You know. What am I doing? We go there. We just do this for that one. Always. Yes. So I'm playing. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. You know what I'm doing? I'm going and taking my necromancer to the next level. So I wonder, how would people go? You're saying that the Atrid dude and some other dude, they go and take drugs or something. They're just going there, they're not taking drugs, they're smelling, just breathing. And it's drugs for them. Why? It's because they're smelling souls and it goes to their lungs and gives them power like a Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball. They give their souls, Dragon Ball, Necromancer, Schlang, like a Tom Cruise dude with in his rear a freaking tornado or something. Tornado of the sand following him. Be cool. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm going there, and then and yeah. So what is the drug? The sand, the drug, the sand, the souls. You just go there, you breathe. The dust goes in your lungs. It's a drug to you, and the more that you breathe it, the more you want it. But there's practically souls to the infinite because people die, things burn, etc. So you get the soul of what, a mineral, the soul of something. It's dust. Gets I don't know, gets on your lungs with liquid. There's liquid in the lungs. If there's liquid in the lungs, the tiny little cinder in the tiny little pot of water, you put it there. He becomes homogeneous in 2 seconds. Little cinder there. So I guess it gets mixed. It gets digested by the lung. It gets digested by the lung, just like food is digested by the stomach. No, I don't know. I really love to go and see the sands. I've always loved to see those sands in movies. Anyway, so that's why I'm installing Diablo. It's pretty cool. Just going there, and I feel like putting everything in Arabic. I'm serious, because I look, I'm like at the 10 verse of the goddamn Quran. All I see is Muhammad literally leaving the place where he was, arriving in Arabia, in Saudi Arabia, or the Caliphates in 628, and telling everybody what I saw was a butchery. We need to tell. We need to tell each other. We need to tell you it was butchery. They were lying to each other. A team of Roman there lying to the other guy, faking the floor of being attacked and laughing in the back, just killing another guy, being a mafia directly in society, standing in society, sending one guy and just having arriving next to a couple, like like literally a couple of Corleones, wife and woman, adult, arriving to kids, kids or a couple or something like that. Like two adults, a couple, Italian, okay, Roman, wife and men. Just in society, you don't look at Nazi fascists, look at the Roman, how worse they were. Okay? Okay? And they were just like that, friends, multiple of them, couples. Okay? Or friends. No, let's just say males. Let's leave the women out of it. Okay? Because they're evil too, but let's leave them out of it. Just point the woman that Corleone, whatever she is, in the Parin, gives poison to everybody, and that's fine. But let's say male friends, how we are with male friends, right? Pointed to soccer, right? Italian soccer or whatever. When they fell down or fall down on the floor, he's not even hit or hurt, he's just falling down and faking it. What do you think happened with the friend back then? Right? You're in the forest or something. You're in the forest. Hey, we're going to a trip. Yeah, let's go and make a trip. Let's have a trip. You're 5 Romans and three or two 5 Romans and two Jews, Jewish person, Jewish person back then. And Muhammad, he was checking everything. Muhammad, why? Because he was a different culture. Maybe he was sent there because the people were being told lies. He was sent. Muhammad was sent by the Caliphate. Maybe you shouldn't be sent to the Caliphate. I don't know how it was processed back then. It was all changed in 628. By 632 CE, it was mainstream. The whole caliphate had mainstreamed the Muslim and the Islam and the Quran and imams, probably even, and all of that stuff. A whole defense protection system in words and chants. Don't trust liars. Don't trust this. They're lying of the everything of the whatever. Okay, you were 5 Romans with two dudes, and what you were doing, or 3 dudes. It was awful. You were going in the forest or making trips, and Muhammad was in the forest and following you guys, and he was just watching. He was just spying on the everything you were doing, different culture. When you see the spy in Game of Thrones, who do you see? You guys see a spy, weird kind of Persian, maybe look more Egyptian. I see the Persian guy, the Prince of Persia guy. You have to get them assassin of a lot of knowledge behind him, a lot of education. The guy became a warrior leader of the first sultan of the thing of the Arabs. They all decided to follow him, became warrior, etc. That's how it started. Yeah, I think it's written a little bit like that. And so he was, fuck, I lost it. I had it. Sends everything, so he becomes a sultan, and fights and everything, whatever. like whole defense protection should say. Yeah, so he was watching you 5 Italians, the forest, and 3 Jews. So what you were doing, you were 5 soccer player Italians. You were 5 soccer player Italians Romans. You were telling to two of them, you were telling to 2 Jews, hey dude, can you go back and get the ball, please? Go back and get the ball, or something. And you forgot a ball. 2 adults, teenagers, whatever, going back to home, getting the ball. There was 1 Jew with 4 Italians. 4 Italians were telling to 1 Italian, okay, it's time, do it. Not doing it, killing the Italian, killing the Jew. Mohammed was watching. And then, after they're killed, there was 3 Romans falling on the floor and faking, ow, hit me here, cut me here, ow. And then there was the friend, the last friend. Maybe you killed 2 of them, two Jews. The last one arrives. And let's say there was 2 because you guys, there were 2 that were left because you guys are very good at manipulating people. You're good in groups, even. So there was the 2 Jews, the 2 Jewish person arrived back at the scene. Muhammad had cold blood. He saw everything, cold blood. Game of Thrones assassin. Okay, Game of Thrones assassin. Cold blood. Looks at you in his uniform as a sultan already in the forest, hidden. You never look at him, you never see him. He's always an assassin. You never knew he came and arrived. But maybe you killed him when he was 60 years old. After the whole thing was mainstream, it started to be talked who arrived with the message, and you were able to know who it was, Muhammad, and you killed him. That's the only thing you did. You did revenge on Muhammad. That's what I see. You killed him at 60 years old. That Rome killed Muhammad at 60. It's the only thing you did. And after that, Abu Bakr noticed entire protection system of another sphere of protection over the Quran. What else did Abu Bakr do over the Quran? Probably the guards, the entirety of the guards of the buildings, of the mosque, of the everything, of the etc. That's how I see it. And after that, so if we go back to the forest with Sultan to be Muhammad, seeing you in his spy uniform, warrior uniform, just checking what was going on, ready to kill everybody, and watching that Italian was just falling on the floor like hockey player, like a soccer player, and just shitting in his pants for real. Even he had smelled poop, maybe. To make it real, I'm gonna shit on my. Okay, it's my turn. Okay, you gonna because okay, it's my turn to shit in my pants today. Okay, just like the Italian they are, and then Mohammed was like, "What the fuck is this garbage?" Literally, be like in desperation, looking at how much you are pigs. Yes, that's why they hate pigs. At how much we're pigs. That's why they aren't. They don't like pigs. Me, I like to eat them. I like to eat pigs. I don't. I would not like to have an animal pig. I like to eat a pig. I'm like a cannibal of the pig. Would I have a pet? Yeah. I would have a pet too. They look smart. They're really smart. But if it's a bad pig, it's gonna be put down. Anyway, so let's go back to in the forest. So Muhammad in the forest, watching you pigs, Italians, pig of the Drangheta, you pig of the whatever, you pig of the fucking anus of this world, whatever you were doing, and then there was 2 that were sent to take the ball, yeah, because you had to do manipulation of what the fuck, and kill somebody else in society, pass false messages. And Muhammad was like, wow, he was understanding your entire language. He didn't even have to understand it, that he was knowing based on your actions. It was awful. It's awful. Just in soccer, you see it that you're faking. We see the fake. Oh, faking the. We see it. It's on camera, on display, bitches. We see a fucking hard hit and we see a fake hit. We see the entirety of the fake freaking ticket of the yellow card, and we see the red card. And Mohammed, that's what he was seeing. He was seeing a green card, yellow card, and he was seeing the red card. He was seeing the green light, the yellow light, and the red light. It does not pass. That's not righteous. It was a green light, it passes. A yellow light, not sure. He was seeing the red light, that does not pass. And he was right there. He was watching you. That's what he was doing, Muhammad. Yeah, in cold blood. He was like, with what a bunch of pigs. I want to cut their throats. What right here? What's this? Maybe even he wanted to eat them at that time. He was like, no, maybe their blood is tainted. And they were like, maybe it's a good idea. They had to talk about it and say, we ban pork. It represents them. We ban it. So maybe it's gonna be unbanned. What is the pork? Is actually the pig Italian. It's not the pig animal. Or maybe the pig animal used to look like them. It would have to be said. It would have to be researched. Who knows? Maybe that's why they rejected it. Maybe at some point it's going to be accepted because the pig was not the animal pig, but it represented because it had the closest name, the closest representation in the form of what it looks like: ugly, disgusting, and putrid. How about that? I would have to check. That is not an insult. I'm searching for clues, checking history. That's what I like to do. I'm not insulting because I like it. I like the Arabic thing, the entirety of it, and so so yeah, so two guys arrive back with the ball. So there's one Italian that's dead because he did not want to kill one Jew. Did not follow the Drangheta rule of following the Harkonnen rule of following the rule of you follow orders or you die. And three women falling on the floor and faking it. There was a fucking ghost in the end. There was nothing. Faking. They were pointing in direction of nothing. So Muhammad wasn't even understanding your language. He was looking at you Romans. You three Romans were on the floor, hurt for no reasons. He was like, was there a ghost or something? He was like, where? He was literally grabbing his knife. He was like, what the fuck are they doing? They're falling on the floor. Is there a ghost? He was watching it. He was watching the. Did somebody throw a dart? That's what he was doing. He didn't understand anything. But then he saw, no, there was nothing. You guys were pointing in the direction of nothing. You were like pointing in the direction of nothing. You were crying. You were speaking a language of blah blah blah. Because after that, after your lives of talking your language, of pointing in the wrong direction, of showing nothing, that it was a thief, a criminal, of whatever. Well, the Jew was crying, going back home, telling to his family, "You got killed by a criminal," and the Jew family was going, with who were you? With that guy, with that guy, with that guy. So the family started noting the history. And that's what we have today, families that noted down history. Noted down history that they have no choice to always be at the front line somehow. They're always the front line because they are the ones that know the most. They are the front because they are the ones that know the most of who's the dirtiest in society. How about that? They know the most of who's the dirtiest. And they have no choice to be at the front to appear just like him. But they take note of everything. And then we see in the movie that I keep showing, George, please, I am loyal. But in the end, nobody's asking him. No, we don't see the question being asked. And maybe he's going to be asked in the debrief of the movie about how are you loyal? And he's going to say, because Michael, I've kept the entirety of the motherfucking proof of it. Why? What choice did you have? If you have a knife to your throat 24/7, what can you do? Nothing. But you keep a memory of it. And the moment that somebody released the knife, what can you do? You're free to speak. I'm free. You're free to speak finally. You know what I mean? Finally, you're free to speak. You're finally. You're free to speak. You have the knife. You don't have the knife anymore. You're free to speak. Freedom of speech. You're free. You're free to say the truth that you never were working for them. And a lie detector would be able to tell that even hey, motherfucker is saying the truth. You know what I mean? And that's where we're at. Cutting too soon investigations is the mafia way. Ndrangheta way. And even then, maybe there's plenty of Ndrangheta people that are super righteous. And they were sent to Italy to be shushed. Do not talk anymore of who's the bitch inside of highest echelons, maybe, of Ndrangheta, of the leaders that you didn't even find yet. They're of the Endariel, of Duriel, Mephisto, Diablo, and Baal, of everything related to Julius Caesar, of Pompey, the massacre, the butchery of babies, of the Germans, and everybody around, of Persians, of Asians, of black people, of Caucasians, of everything you could find that you could conquer that you didn't like. That was not you. And that's what I wanted to say. That's why I wanted to play Diablo. I thought I couldn't say it, but I finished by saying it. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm tired of talking. So I would say, do not castrate people that do not need to be castrated with their confidence. It makes them hate you. It made me hate a lot of people of my life. Do you need to make people hate you for all? You don't need to do this. Even if some of them, if like you say, we globalize and we hurt and blah, blah. No, not after 2,000 years. If you think of ideological subversion, then doesn't that work for everybody? Yes. So I would say that I'm sorry for Italians for fucking saying that I hate all of them, putting them. And that's how I am when I go angry. Okay, sorry, but I have no statistics. That's just how it is. Okay. Let me play Diablo. Okay, I'm gonna cool down on Diablo. Maybe just rage over rage of years of rage. Okay. Imagine there are families that have been facing Napoleons of trash ever since, and that they've never been killed. How were they even alive? By minimizing the effects of the damage every time. Minimizing the effects of the damage that they could never stop. Never ever, otherwise it was always going to be too evil. Isn't that enough to say that they can be forgiven? For me, yes, but there needs the proof though, this time. But yes, it is enough for me. It is enough. With proof. With the memories, the proof, the recordings of the everything, of the proof of the intention of the beginning, of the full debrief. But Pompey and all this stuff, we have to know. I'd love to eat one of those apples. Eat my ancestor. I'd love to know how they taste. I don't know. Maybe it's a vagina that I'm gonna eat. I want to know a boob. And maybe I would ask, can I eat you? After talking to Yabo, can I eat you? And then whatever, it would be the boob, and it would say yes. Like a consensual fucking thing. Like I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat you. And like the apple of a multiple freaking combination of multiple souls grown on cinders of my ancestors that Pompey has been you know like sprouting in diarrhea over the world that only Italians are eating. Because I love to know. You talk to those multiple souls, and finally it reaches a consensus of that you have to earn the right to eat the apple, and motherfucker, it tastes good as fuck. You know what I mean? Otherwise, though, isn't it sacred? Isn't it sacred? Our blood, our lineage, our ancestry, our history, our everything, and just now it just feels like it's actually the conqueror that eats us. Feels like it's just but then you delete history and you only give the ability to Romans to delete themselves, to remove the cinders, always clean the Roman, and make attractions for only the Roman that has cinders of many, 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 many dead babies on top of them, and you realize that there's nothing beautiful there. Actually, this is like you're actually there's no, it's genocide and just on cinders on you here. You're making money on it. It's not right. It's just not right. It's just Endurio, and Mephisto, and Diablo, and Baal to me. You know? Anyway, so I'm taking a break with a smoke pot and etc. So yeah, I'm gonna play Diablo, man. I'm back in Diablo for this one.